But I would acknowledge President Trump failed, along with Republicans, Paul Ryan and the guys. They failed in 2018 to actually move a border security bill to tighten this so that we weren't dealing with this crisis right now. They failed to actually get the wall built. President Trump signed 12 continuing resolutions after he said he would never sign another one if they didn't give him the money to finish building the wall. Look, this stuff matters. It adds up. I call balls and strikes. This is not hard.
That's MAGA Republican Chip Roy calling out Donald Trump as a total and utter failure. MAGA Republican Chip Roy calling Donald Trump a failure. And by the way, you got MAGA Republican Congress member Chip Roy saying this as well. Play this clip.
By the way, it does not matter who's sitting in the speaker's seat or who's got the majority. We keep doing the same stupid stuff.
And here's MAGA Republican Andy Biggs. You don't get more Trumpy than, or Trump culty than MAGA Republican Andy Biggs. Here, play this clip.
We have nothing, in my opinion, we have nothing to go out there and campaign on, Chris. It's embarrassing.
Right. Well, I know the Republican Party in the Congress, the majority has zero accomplishments.
They're saying that Trump and the Republican Party is a failure. It's been taken over by MAGA. It is a total and utter failure and a threat. Here's Alyssa Farah Griffin, worked with Donald Trump. She's on The View. Listen to what she has to say. Play the clip.
Biden's primary campaign message is we are running to save democracy. Donald Trump is an existential threat to democracy. I believe that. I testified to the Department of Justice against him because I am afraid of him. I'm afraid of what he'll do to this country.
Or by the way, this is Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley, this is her in New Hampshire. Here's what she has to say about Donald Trump and the debt he saddled the nation with and his failures. Play this clip.
The reason he's throwing these temper tantrums is because he knows I do have a chance. The reason he's doing this is because he knows he's not able to defend his record. He's not able to talk about why he wasn't tough enough on China when he should have, and he allowed fentanyl to come through and them steal our intellectual property and build up our military. He's not talking about the fact that he put us $8 trillion in debt over 4 years, and we're digging out of it, unable to figure out how we're going to pay that now. He's not talking about the fact that he didn't stop the fentanyl flow that's affected this state and all over the country when he had the opportunity to do it. He's not talking about why did he go and praise President Xi a dozen times after they gave us COVID. Why would you do that? There are a lot of things he doesn't want to answer. So he can say, I'm not going to win. I don't care about that. What I am going to do is say, we need answers. The American people need answers. And if he's not giving it, that should worry every single one of you.
So compare that to this news. Even Fox had to report that the stock market is doing good and there are good economic indicators. Play this clip.
Fox News alert here as we take a look at the markets. And the U.S. stock market continues to hit record high after record high. You're looking at a fresh 300-point gain on the Dow right now, hitting its highs of the session. The S&P 500, which is a snapshot of the broader U.S. stock market, is hitting an all-time high, surpassing the previous record set 2 years ago. So, wow, there continues to be a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of optimism in the U.S. stock market. There's still anticipation the Federal Reserve will cut rates this year.
And here's how it was reported on CNN. Play this clip.
A double dose of good news about two things that Americans care about: jobs and the housing market. First time jobless claims fell to the lowest level since September 2022, far below economists' projections. And also falling, mortgage rates. They're the lowest they've been since May.
So when you have good economic metrics, I guess Fox then got the call from Trump and seeing all these people talking out about him, because then you had Larry Kudlow, who hosts the show on Fox, and Kudlow is like wrong on everything. And so he had to then go on the air on Fox to spread propaganda that I even think Kim Jong-un would be like, oh, that's pretty impressive propaganda you got right there. Because here's Larry Kudlow saying, many people are saying that the reason that the stock market is doing well right now is because people think that Donald Trump's going to be in office, or that other people are saying it's because President Biden's going to lose. I mean, just listen to the, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. I'll try to use a bunch of smart words, but and worse, a dangerous one. Play this clip.
It's up around 400 points. The Kudlow Trust is doing well. Techs and AI stocks are leading the way. Now, former President Trump has said the market is rallying because he's going to be reelected president. Others believe the market is rallying because Joe Biden is going to be defeated. Whoops, I think that's the same thing. Still, others believe the market is up because the Fed's going to slash interest rates and juice the economy to get Biden reelected. I personally don't buy into that. You would think Joe Biden would be crowing about a record market on his watch. Problem is, he hates rich people. He's anti-business. He doesn't like the stock market at all, hates corporate profits, and he's afraid to talk about it.
Oh, and it gets even worse than that, because I guess to boost Donald Trump's frail ego, as even MAGA Republicans are turning on Donald Trump. You know how Donald Trump had those, what appeared to be like these weird boils or lesions or cuts on his hand, and everyone was wondering, what was it? James Carville had a theory. Lots of people have theories about why Donald Trump has what appear to be these like cold sores or lesions or whatever it is on his hands. Well, Fox had to go in there and say, well, Donald Trump uses a red pen and signs a lot of chests of women, and that maybe it's from the red pen when he has to sign women's chests. Okay, whoa. We're a bunch of... Play the clip.
He worked for Bill Clinton.
But speculating on someone's health in that way, a former president, fair game?
Politics can be boring, and you have to mix it up, and it's I find it very entertaining. But the real thing, when I look at that, it looked to me like red ink. You know how you get red ink on your hands? Yeah. When you are so popular, every room you walk into, everybody wants you to give them a signature. And Joe Biden doesn't have this problem. Other Republican candidates, only Donald Trump. I mean, women want him to sign their chests when he walks into a bar. Charlie. That's how much they love him. And so I think that's red ink is what I think it is.
I was afraid to raise my hands a moment ago. It's like, the fishing, the tennis.
This is true.
Okay, back to the world of reality. Here's what President Biden has to say. Play the clip.
America has, this is a fact, the strongest growth rate of any and the lowest inflation rate of any major economy in the world. We have a lot more work to do. There's no question our plan of investing in America and the American people is working.
Here's also what President Biden has to say. Play the clip.
When it comes to voting against infrastructure law, it doesn't stop many of our Republicans calling up and saying, we need a project in my district. Now, what I haven't done is I haven't blocked projects in their districts because they're all Americans. The fact they have a senator or a congressman who doesn't know what they're doing doesn't mean they should be denied. But it's okay. It's okay because I promised to be a president for all Americans. And I mean that sincerely. It's not hyperbole. I promised to be a president for all Americans. Like I said before, I told them all I'll see them at the groundbreaking.
Here's Congresswoman Catherine Clark. Play the clip.
You just mentioned as a campaign platform for Donald Trump here. We heard yesterday from House Speaker Mike Johnson that he is consulting with Donald Trump on the issue of border negotiations. These negotiations are largely happening in the Senate right now, but House Speaker Mike Johnson, who over the weekend reportedly said that whatever bipartisan agreement comes from the Senate is dead on arrival in the House, has said he's talking to Donald Trump about this. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, it's absolutely no surprise. Donald Trump and MAGA extremism has taken over the House Republican Party, and this is what we get.
And I like, though, by the way, that you have people like Jared Bernstein, who co-chairs the Council of Economic Advisors. And, he's going on Fox and just spitting facts, talking about the data. Here, play this clip.
What we know is, as you've said, inflation is down 2/3 from its peak. We also know that prices have been falling. Not disinflation, deflation, lower prices, gas, milk, eggs, toys, appliances, car rentals, airfares. All of those prices are lower.
Here's former United States Attorney, I believe from Alabama, Joyce Vance. Here's what she had to say headed into 2024. Play this clip.
It seems absolutely unconscionable that the Republican Party, the party of small government, the party of family values, you could go on and on and on. The Republican Party that I grew up with at the end of the last century, that they would somehow come to support a small, petty man like Donald Trump, who can barely control his personal behavior and certainly isn't fit to lead a country. And I think that what we have to be very cavalier about understanding is that there are people in this country who value power more than they value country, who would rather be powerful than live in a rule of law based democratic society. And that's what makes this coming election so important. And I think this isn't a political principle. This is a principle of how we want this country to look going forward. Do we want to continue to have a rule of law, or do we want to have a dictator? I don't know any other way to put it. It may sound alarmist, it may sound fanciful, but that's really the question. Will we let Donald Trump become a dictator in 2024?
Oh, and then by the way, I mean, President Biden's come out and said that he wants to deal with the border. Like, we're trying to fund and to bring resources to the border. MAGA Republicans want to block that. But here, play this clip.
I've been clear from the very beginning, the system is broken. My first day in office, I sent Congress a comprehensive plan on immigration reform. My friends on the other side have done nothing with that. Over and over, I've asked for resources to step up action at the border. In October, I asked Congress to fund for funding that would add another 22,000 additional border agents and officers, hundreds of new immigration judges to make the judgments on the spot, a new detection equipment to stop fentanyl from coming into the country. And by the way, I've worked with China and Mexico to slow the flow of fentanyl in the United States. As I speak, it's way down. So let me be clear. My team has been at the table for weeks now with a bipartisan group of senators to negotiate a deal, including border, because I believe we need significant policy changes at the border, including changes in our asylum system to ensure that we have authorities we need to control the border. And I'm ready to act. I think, God willing, and the creek not rising, as my grandpa would say, I think next week we ought to be able to work out something, at least in the Senate. And I'm hopeful it's going to be the bipartisan package the Senate is going to pass, God willing. Now, the question is for the Speaker and the House Republicans. Are they ready to act as well? They have to choose whether they want to solve a problem or keep weaponizing issues to score political points against the president. I'm ready to solve the problem. I really am. Massive changes. And I mean it sincerely.
So, folks, you tell me. You tell me. I'm just showing you what they're saying. You tell me in the comments how you feel. Can we get to 2 million subscribers? We're almost there. Hit subscribe right now. It's free. Hit the thumbs up button. It's free. If you want to help fund the network, go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch. No worries. But it helps. patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Have a great one.
Thanks so much for watching. We're only a few subscribers short of 2 million subs. Please subscribe right now to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel for free and help us grow this unapologetically pro-democracy network.